Hello everyone. Once again, this is your Sir Stephen Jensen Ballo, and for this video, this is just a continuation of our topic or lesson, which is about entity relationship modeling concepts. For this video, we'll be discussing this time the strong and weak entities, and also about the attributes on relationships. Okay, so let us begin. So when we say a strong entity type, so it is an entity type that does not depend upon the existence of another entity type in order para ma-exist. So i-Tagalog natin to. Ito yung entity type na independent siya, no? Hindi siya nagde-depend sa ibang entity types para mag-exist siya. So each entity occurrence is uniquely identifiable using the primary key attributes of that entity type. So pag sinabing strong entity, automatic meron yung primary key. Pag may nakita, pag yung in a certain ERD model, no, pag may nakita kang entity na may primary key attribute siya, so that entity type is automatically a strong entity. Now, aside from the strong, of course, we have a weak entity type. So an entity type that is weak is dependent, no? Nakadepende siya, yung existence niya is dependent on another entity type. So for this instance, no, we have here a example, no. Ito yung sinasabi ko na strong entity type. We have here the client entity. So meron siyang primary key na attribute, which is client number, and we have this also weak entity, which is preference. So ito yung attributes niya, and as you notice, wala siyang primary key, and yung existence niya, it depends on this client na entity. So therefore, this preference entity type is a weak entity. Okay, so yun lang for strong and weak entities. Now let's move on to the attributes on relationships. So attributes on relationships, these are attributes. Attributes, no? Di ba meron tayo attributes for entities. So we can also assign attributes to relationships, just like this one. So we have here a newspaper advertises property for rent. So we have a relationship type na advertises, no? So as you can see, no, consider the relationship advertises, which associates the newspaper and property for rent entity types, no, as shown in this figure, no, to record, para ma-record ang yung date na yung property na advertise siya, no, to record the date that the property was advertised and the cost of that advertisement, no, we associate this information with the advertises relationship as attributes called date advert and cost. Yun. So itong mga as mentioned nga, no, to record nga the date of the ni-advertise yung property na yon, tsaka yung cost ng advertisement na yon, rather than putting it, no, rather than ilalagay mo siya sa newspaper na entity or property for rent, so nilagay siya as an attribute for this relationship. So in a diagrammatic representation, no, of this these attributes on relationships, ito for this instance, no. So we represent attributes associated with a relationship type using the same symbol, no. Parehas lang, no. Parehas sa symbol, no, when we're using symbol for entity type, no? As you notice, no, parehas lang sila. However, to distinguish, no, para malaman natin yung pag between the relationship with an attribute and an entity, so para hindi tayo malito. So yung ginawa is the rectangle representing the attributes, so in this case ito siya, no, is associated with the relationship gamit ang dashed line. So hindi siya solid line kundi dashed line. Okay, so that this one you could assign this attribute to this relationship. Tsaka wala siyang pangalan dito kasi nga hindi man to entity. Attributes man to para sa relationship na to. Itong manages na relationship. So for example, itong manages relationship has the following attributes: manager start date and bonus attributes. Okay. So the presence of one or more attributes, no, assigned to a relationship could indicate, no, that the relationship, ito nga relationship ito, conceals, meron siyang tinatago na unidentified, na hindi pa ma-identified na entity type. So it's possible that there could be meron pang entity type na pwede pa ma-insert sa ano na to. Okay? But we're going to discuss that in other lessons regarding this one. Okay? So I think that's all for this topic, and I will pause this video for the structural constraints kasi ito mahaba-habang kwentuhan to dito. This topic alone has a lot of subtopics to be discussed. So I'll end this video, and in the next video I will be discussing this structural constraints. Okay, so that's all for this video, and thank you for watching.